Okay, y'all. Like I said, it's always gonna be something, but we gonna fumble forward. Welcome y'all to the Fumble Forward podcast. This is for people on an imperfect journey to grow their relationship with God, themselves, and others in pursuit of their truest self. Y'all, I told you these hurdles are coming for me in this podcast, but I am not gonna let it win. Like I sat here and then my recording, like I didn't know the buttons right. I said we gonna fumble forward. You got it. And I'm ready to share with y'all what I'm doing for self care because I said I'm going to work on that. This one is a good one. I am working on saying, Ikuya, it's okay to spend that money on that non essential thing. That's really big for me. Like, I have my finances on lock in terms of everything is automated. Shout out to Ramit, his book, and I'll teach you how to be rich, live a rich life. Netflix show, check it out. And I fully embrace that. But I still be struggling with like, it's okay, Akuya, to treat yourself for your birthday and get your nails done. Like your bills are paid. It's okay. So I'm working on that because that's just not for me. Mm-mm, mm-mm. But this episode though is a good one, and I felt like it was so appropriate as we get into the colder months over here in the US and in the Americas that this is going to bring up a lot of emotions for people. And it got me thinking about I need to share with y'all my free antidepressants. Yes, my free antidepressants. These are the things that I do, that I've heard people do, that scientists say are good for you, that will help you not fall into that depressed state. Now, I want to say that people get into a moment of depression, a season of depression for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it's for a specific incident, sometimes it's chronic, all those different things. Not necessarily trying to get into the detail of that, but more importantly, share with you all the free things I do that I call antidepressants. And this is a part of the theme for this season called Happy Yourself. Okay. And so I thought, let me share these little goodies with people because they seem so innate to me now, but they were not intuitive. Honest to God, these were not intuitive to me like even a good 3 years ago. They really, really weren't. And I truly believe trying these different antidepressants help you develop your relationship with God, help you develop your relationship with yourself, and help you develop your relationship with others. So I'm gonna leave my biggest one for last. I want to see if y'all can figure out which one I'm gonna drop at the end there. Um, yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious, but I'm gonna start with a goodie: laughter. Laughter, y'all, is the antidepressant. I'm telling you, this like it's just so hard to be not in a joyous mood and be laughing at the same time. Like, have you ever like you like mad and you like like it just you can't do it. It just can't coexist. So, literally finding anything that will make me laugh is what I'm trying to do when I get into one of just like these spells of just not being in a spirit of presentness, not having gratitude. I find funny videos on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I call up loved ones. My sister makes me laugh all the time. I call her up. I tell my husband to do a joke. I just find anything and everything that could possibly make me laugh or has made me laugh in the past. I use that. And one thing that I'm actually really big on doing is like saving videos or posts that are funny to go back to. So if you need to do that, that's what you do. So laughing, antidepressant, okay? Antidepressant. Such good stuff. All right. And the next one I want to share with y'all, which is a goodie, is exercise. Are y'all even surprised I said it? Like, I feel like y'all probably knew I was going to say this one, but dang, is it true? It really is. Now, I want to emphasize that exercise doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm going to the gym, I'm about to put in work and get swole. No. It literally can look like so many things. I think actually a better word is movement. Move the body. shake the body, like something. Get the blood flowing, So that can be taking a walk. Can be going up and down your stairs. That can be popping on a video on YouTube to do a dance workout, ab workout, glute workout, whatever you need to do. That can be even cleaning your house, like scrubbing, really getting down to business. I think it's just that intentional aspect of like, I'm going to move my body and focus on feeling all my muscles and blood flowing and just be in this grateful mentality that I can move my body, because best believe somebody cannot. That it helps you just like realize like, wow, all these different muscles are moving together in order for me to do this exercise, this movement. And you just start realizing how incredible that is, and you cannot help but just be in a grateful spirit, and just want to use that ability of being able to move well. And there is like a plethora of science that just shows the benefits of exercise and movement. So I don't even need to dive into that. Y'all already know. But like from personal experience, it's so true. I mean, I'll share just even a quick story that when everything happened with COVID, the rise of the Black Lives Matter movement in 2020, your girl was pissed off at the world. And I really needed to channel that anger in something that was like really getting me out of my head and my body in a lot of ways. And your girl picked up kickboxing. And that jump was a game changer because it allowed me to channel that anger into something physical and release that thing. Like I left it all on the bag and it was amazing for me. And now I'm in this season of biking. That is my thing. I got this awesome foldable bike that I can put in my car, take it to go to a park, open it up, bike there, bike in my neighborhood. That's the thing. So movement, y'all, is antidepressant. This definitely is for me. Okay? For me. So another antidepressant that it's another one that like y'all know, but like are you making it fit for your life? You know what I'm saying? Mine is healthy eating, specifically cutting out high sugar foods and highly processed foods. So when I tell you, your girl was a sweet tooth for decades. Ooh, snap. Over almost took the bike off. It's that serious, okay? It's that like I was a sweet tooth. You don't want to know how many painful dentist appointments I had, filling up cavities. You don't want to know the dentist bills that I used to get slapped with in the face. It was absurd. And actually, fun fact, or just like another part of my journey that I'm on, is I've cut out processed candy from my diet. Starting this year in 2023, I've cut out candy, which is massive for me, y'all. Like I like that processed candy that like came from a factory where almost like nothing in it is like real food. I'm talking about like that Skittles, that Starburst, that Sour Patch Kids. Don't get me started with the watermelon Sour Patch Kids or the wild berry Skittles. Whew, my mouth even just like watered a bit thinking about it because it has been so long. But I'm on a journey. I am 9 months strong. I've literally gotten to the point where I'll eat candy maybe about once a month. Sometimes I wall out and do it like 3 times a month, but it's like pretty consistently going down. Like last month, actually, I ate candy not at all, which was awesome. Chocolate, specifically dark chocolate, is still on the table. I haven't cut that out, but just the highly processed. And honestly, I just realized how much better I feel. I don't have spikes in my glucose and my sugar. I don't drop in energy. Like, it just, that food was not serving me. It just was not serving me. So that's just like one aspect in particular that I use to keep my state of being where I know it can be, and not using things that will like bring me down and just have me all in flux. And processed food, high sugar foods do that. So cutting that out has helped your girl, okay? Antidepressant. So really finding like what's that thing for you. I feel like that's what's going to be huge, and that's what's going to make it stick. Like I had to find the thing for me. Like the thing for me was cutting out the high processed candies and the sweets. Like it was just too much. But for you, it may be, I don't know, breads like croissants. It may be coffee. I mean, it could literally be anything, but just like finding the healthy alternative. And for me, that's really been fruit, just whole fruits, strawberries, grapes, raspberries, blueberries. You you kind of name it, okay? And I, of course, can't forget these good ones that are antidepressants. Is prayer, spending that time having my conversation with the Lord, y'all. It's one of those things where it just, you can come to Him and release it all. You can release it to Him. And just the idea of knowing whenever I choose to come to Him, He's always there, knowing that I don't have to carry this burden on my own. He takes that off of me and makes it lighter. Yeah, it's just almost impossible because once I get started talking to Him, usually I don't stop talking if it's something really, really big. Or sometimes I've had moments too where like I could feel that kind of anxiety, sadness, depression, all those different words bubbling. And I just be sitting there with Him sometimes, just like sitting there with Him. And He's already reading my mind. Sometimes I don't even have to articulate it, but just moments of conversation with God is absolutely antidepressant and making it a normal thing, right? Because we're going to constantly be hit with things in life that are coming up that can send us a route we don't want to go. And so just embedding prayer intentionally in my life has absolutely been an antidepressant, okay? And this is a good combo with this first one that I mentioned with prayer. The other one is worship. Yes, I love me some good praise and worship music. Okay, that especially when you know you've saved your songs that really hit for you, and they come on, and it just takes you out of your body, it takes you out of whatever you're worrying about, and just brings you in the present moment. That's what praise and worship music can do for me. And so just having those moments of worship, speaking out loud, gathering with other people, even if that's just one person with you, two, three, whatever, worshiping is huge. And honestly, I love to combine these together. Okay. That's like when you leveling up, you doing like bonus things. You know, when you get like, when you're playing like Mario Kart Racing and you get those level up special little booster powers, that's what these antidepressants are when you combine them. Okay. So I love to combine praise and worship music with my biking, for instance. Like it is amazing, especially because I go early in the morning. Barely too many people are out. I blast my praise and worship music and I'll be riding my bike. Getting movement and having praise and worship is just like, again, I just, depression is nowhere to be found when I'm doing these things. They cannot coexist in the same place, at least for me. And I'm praying that the same thing can happen for you, right? Like the same thing can happen for you. Oh my gosh, y'all. When I tell you imperfect things keep happening, literally our echo is going off to take our trash out. Like this is my life, but we took out the trash. So all is well. All is well. Echo. Stop reminder. Okay. Oh, we out here, y'all. We are out here. Okay, we ain't letting it stop us. Please, if you need to take your trash out, don't forget to take your trash out. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So those are definitely the combo one. That's like one of my biggest tricks that I've been really doubling down into is combining these antidepressants. Okay, so maybe yours is um, eating healthy and movement. Maybe yours is eating healthy and laughter. Whatever it is, combined it. But the one that I want to say that's so all encompassing, that is one of the biggest antidepressants for me, And I will also say this is more of like a base one, I feel like, because I usually do a lot of the other antidepressants I told you in conjunction with this. And it's being in nature. Antidepressant awesomeness, okay? Being in nature. So, what I mean by that is like putting your foot in the grass and sand, like having direct contact. You know, when you have a child and they say skin to skin, like you, skin to skin with nature. Chef's kiss, y'all. Chef's kiss. So, having that time in nature where you can get skin to skin with nature, whether that's grass, whether that's the beach and sand and water, whatever it is, whether that is just going on a walk, just being outside is so glorious. And I say this is such a good foundational antidepressant because I'm hardly ever doing just like being in nature and not in prayer, not in worship, not exercising, right? Many times I'm going on a walk with my husband or other loved ones or friends, so I'm probably laughing. Like it's just a nice foundation to put the other antidepressants on top of to make just like a strong, like, knock it all out, whatever is trying to come towards you. And there's, when I say a plethora of science about the benefits of being in nature, because naturally I feel like your body knows, like, wow, God created all of this. This is incredible. And it just centers you almost instantly, legit almost instantly. So these are all the free antidepressants that I use on the daily to keep myself centered, and mainly this is for my relationship with God and for myself. And I feel like by byproduct it ends up being better for others because I'm just like a better human being to be around and serve others. But it's just like all these antidepressants that are free really connect and help me deepen my relationship with God. And when I'm doing that, I'm centered in love. I'm centered in some sense of peace and comfort when I'm doing all these things. And this is not to shame anyone, comfort anyone that does other ways to deal with their depression. Not, don't even do it. This is just me, Aquia, sharing my free ways that I have been getting my antidepressants, is how I like to call them sometimes. And I'm praying that it can do the same for you. And if nothing else, just inspires you to think about what are your free antidepressants that you can access that are more within your control that you can start doing as you're maybe listening to this podcast or right after or in the evening, the next day, the morning, etc. That's really what it's about. And this really bleeds into like, what am I doing to build my community? Because I've shared different things about like being better at responding times and things like that. And one of the things I'm doing good that I'm using to build my community is managing my expectations with people. I am working on coming at lower expectations and focusing more on seeing what people are showing me and following that. Because I've had a track record, I will openly admit, of having insanely high expectations because I have that for myself and I just naturally projected that onto others. But I am working on that, getting better little by little. So that's what I'm working on to build my community. It's just like managing my expectations with people and doing better at seeing what they're saying and then just like following the lead with that, using that to help build their book, their portfolio, their relationship with me. So I hope that this really inspired you, and just like remember that as the sun goes down, the sun also comes up every single day. And so will you through these different trials and experiences that happen in this thing called life. And I will see you next time. Please, I I have to be one of those people. I do. But please share this episode with another loved one. Make sure to subscribe. I want you to join in. We're on this journey to understand imperfectness in our lives and not to fight it, but just to understand the role that it plays in everything, especially in relationships. And if you feel like this is a nugget worth sharing with somebody, let them in on the action, okay? We be having a good time here. All right. Thank you. See you next time. All right, y'all. Welcome to Fumble for. Welcome to Fumble Forecast. Okay, we gonna get through it. I don't know why I can't say the name of my own podcast, y'all. All right. Welcome to Fumble for. Wow. Okay. Anywho, y'all know because you're here and you clicked on the podcast, okay? This is the podcast for people on an imperfect journey. We are figuring this thing out, our relationship with God, our relationship with ourselves, and our relationship with others. Because this is Fumble Forward, okay? And I got the name. I don't know why I was struggling, but I was. And these are the things that I'm kind of struggling on this week that I'm working on with my self care. And that is telling myself that, like, hey, Akuya, it's okay for you to spend money on non essential things. That means it's okay for you to spend money on your nails for your birthday and just relatively simple things like that. Because honestly, I've like automated so much of my budget and finances, really following that Ramit process from How to Get Rich or I'll Make You Rich show on Netflix. I don't know why I'm butchering that name, but I can't remember it right now. Such a good show. Good stuff. And so that's something I want to work on because I don't want to be in a state where like I don't even feel good spending money on my own stuff once my bills and essentials are covered. You know what I'm saying? Like that don't make no sense to me. But anywho, with that being said, we done, babe? Anyhow, oh gosh, legit. My husband is leaving or something, and it's just like beep, 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 beep. Like I just hear all these sounds, and I'm like, hello. Girl is trying to record a podcast episode here. But anywho, this episode today I think is just so timely. It's always relevant. It's evergreen, all the things. And I think that this also will resonate with people as we go into fall, that this may bubble up a little more for people. And unfortunately, I'm talking about depression. And especially in the US, it's just like rampant. Like everybody's going through depression. And by no means am I a doctor and know all the intricacies of the human brain and experiences and bodies and all those things. And not to undermine anyone that is going through depression right now or has in the past and has their ways that they manage and handle the depression. This episode is really about me sharing with all of you ways I found what I call free antidepressants and how I use them on a regular to help myself avoid a depressed state, to remain present, to be in gratitude, and to be like the best vessel I can possibly be so that the God can use me to do what he wants in this world and in this life I've been giving. So I thought it'd be so just like inspiring and hopefully get you all thinking of ways that you can embed free antidepressants in your life, especially if you're really against using pills and different kind of medications for different hurdles and challenges you may be facing in your life. And this is legit years in the making of this little antidepressant toolkit I have of sorts. That is a combination of things I've done for myself, things that I know other loved ones have used, things that like science has proven again and again that's really good for you as well. And you know, you can find that out on the internet and the ether and all those things. But I'm going to say one of my biggest like foundational antidepressants for last. I want to see if you can guess what it is before I get there. But I'll start with some light ones and mix in some heavier ones and all the things. So, okay, I want to start with laughter. Yes, good old laughter. And really, how I achieve this is whenever I run into something that's funny, I try to make note of it. Like, especially if I'm on social media and I run into a TikTok, an Instagram, a YouTube video, shorts, whatever, I save that thing so I can go back to and reference it when I need it. It's really, really huge for me. And just talking to loved ones that make me laugh, just finding things that can make me laugh. A good movie that I know will put me in a good spirit. Like, I love me the Rush Hour trilogy, especially Rush Hour 2. Makes me laugh so hard. So just finding that thing that makes you laugh, big antidepressant for me. Another one I want to say, which y'all probably already know, but if you don't know, it's movement, exercise, move the limbs, okay? And you will feel the difference. There's so much science behind the benefits of getting movement, getting that essential like 30 minutes or so every day. But for me, what's really huge is finding the movement that I actually enjoy enough to continuously do. Like, you'll see a lot of people on Instagram like, oh, I'm going to gym, getting swole, da, 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 I'm going to Pilates. But you're like, I hate those things. Then don't do those things. For me, I've realized like going to the gym for a season in my life was just not it. So I did kickboxing and I freaking loved it and was going at my peak 5 times a week. Didn't picture that when I started, but because I found something I enjoyed, it was easy to get into the movement. And now I'm really into biking, which has been awesome. But yeah, find that movement for you. Get your blood and body pumping, get your brain being able to focus on something else than your current situation that's at hand, right? And this one is, it combines a lot with the other one I mentioned about movement, and you probably have thought about it, but it's eating healthy. And specifically for me, it was cutting out processed food and high sugar foods, specifically candy, because y'all, I loved candy. Okay, I was a sweet tooth. Ooh, goodness. And I mean, I like the candy that you know was completely made in a factory. Like, nothing about it is natural. Skittles, Starburst, Sour Patch Kids, watermelon, Skittles, wild berry, mm, tropical. Yeah, it was out of control. But I'm happy to say I'm on this journey of cutting out those candies starting this year, and I'm going strong, y'all. I only have eaten candy like 3 times a month at best, which is like insanely good for me. And last month I had no candy. So, yes, that has been big, and just getting my mood right because I'm not having these high glucose spikes where my sugar intake is like impacting my energy level and my mood and all the things. I'm not able to regulate it better because I'm not increasing with sugar and getting these high glucose spikes all throughout my day. So that is very huge. And then these are two separate ones, not always done together, but can be done together, is prayer and worship. Sometimes you do them individually, sometimes you can do them together, but this is an antidepressant duo. Okay? Having that time when you have prayer and you and God are just talking, you are taking your burden off and giving it to Him. You're having that conversation. There's just there's no better calming effect. Like, it's hard to be in that state and be having conversation with Him, and that has worked wonders for me. And sometimes it's also when doing worship. So worship a lot for me typically looks like having praise and worship music. When I find my songs and I save them and they come on, they just hit for me, y'all. They hit for me. And I often will do this antidepressant with another one. So I love to listen to praise and worship music and bike. So finding those combinations, I think, are going to be really huge for you to get like double the impact from these antidepressants if you can combine them together with other antidepressants, right? So like finding that combo that works for you can also be fun and then part of the imperfect journey of figuring out which one works well for you. But now we're to the end, and the one that I feel like is so foundational, this antidepressant, I feel like I almost always combined it with something else. It's hardly ever just alone. And this one is being in nature, y'all. Having that skin to skin contact with nature, putting your foot, your hands in the grass, in the sand, in the water, whatever it is. Being in nature is just, there's something about realizing how small you are and everything that just takes your focus off your current situation, takes your focus off of your past situation, and just brings you in the present. And oftentimes, when I'm in nature, I'm biking, I'm walking, which is the movement component, I'm listening to praise and worship, or I'm having prayer, which combines that other component. It's just such a nice foundational antidepressant to start with and put others on top and stack it. And then you just have this amazing antidepressant that's like getting you through the day, getting you through weeks, getting you through years. That's what's really possible with these different antidepressants. And I hope that these inspire you, that you feel encouraged to try these yourself and see if they help you. And this is just the approach that I've been trying in my imperfect journey, because I realized really quickly if I let life take me up and down, up and down, up and down, it would. And I needed something that would keep me centered in this imperfectness. And I say that I would say I do none of these perfectly. It's always in flux, but I love that I had them in my toolkit. I really, really do. And I am wanting to remind you that, just as life's hurdles will come and go, you also rise and learn from each situation and be able to apply it so that you can move forward, or in this case, fumble forward. And I really encourage you to subscribe to this podcast and share this episode with someone else that you think would really love to hear this information, that would really be inspired, that you can really see it moving the needle for them. Please, please, please share with them. And with that, thank you so much for listening.